Okay. Hi guys. All right. I need to figure out where I'm going to be putting all this stuff and showcase this thing. All right. Anyways, all right. Gonna wait a little bit, see if anyone cares to join. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yay, people are joining. Wow, that was pretty quick. Okay. Can you guys see my face? I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on the YouTube one though. Probably, yeah, a little bit. Okay. All right, sorry guys. Let me just get my screens situated so I know what the heck is going on, because right now I can't see Jack right now. All right, here we go. Yeah, okay, that works and that works. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. I was hoping it wouldn't be too late, so apparently it doesn't look like it. So once again, hi, Kevin, Freelance Computing. Doing a Facebook and YouTube live stream of one of the computers that I've finished building. All right, let me see if I can get this better in frame. All right, I know YouTube could see it, but Facebook probably not. Ah, crap. How am I gonna do this? All right, hold on. Ugh. Maybe if I turn on the light. Oh, and I just shut off my screen. Oh, crap. That's not any better, is it? Nope. All right, hold on. Shoot. Come on. All right, forget that. All right, hold on. I gotta. Jesus Christ. Let me move that. All right, so let me see if we can move this over so we can. There. Okay. Oh, good God Almighty. All right. That's not gonna work here. Can I fit it on my chair? Maybe that'll be a better way of doing this. Yeah, this isn't embarrassing at all. All right. Oh my God. Oh, stay put. Okay, good. Jesus. All right, so this is so ridiculous. Oh, okay. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Got better now. Is that a no, not quite. Okay, so I kind of want to show you guys the inside of it, so I'll try to angle this a little bit better. All right, so hopefully you guys could see the inside a little bit better. I'll kind of pull this back just a little bit more for you Facebook people who you can kind of see the entire internals. If you guys go to the YouTube one, you probably get a better view of the computer that I built, of this thing. But either way, all right, so hopefully. Okay, sweet. All right, thanks, Mike. Okay, so let's say hi to some people before I get started. Let's see. Hi, Christian. Hi, Mom. Or Sharon. Missy, hi. Kim, Mike, Angie, and Tom, and Amy. Oh, who else is here? All right, sorry if I missed anybody, but hi. Okay. All right, so what I have here that's going on is, I don't know if you guys saw my previous video. Toward the end, I mentioned that I was in the middle of building a computer. So it was the one with the massive heatsink and fan, this big honker right here, and the motherboard and everything like that. And then I showed off the green case that I was actually working, or that I was going to build it in. So this is the case in here. Sorry, it's kind of tilted. It's the only way I could really fit in my chair. I need like a rotating table. Yeah, I know. But anyway, so this is the computer that I built. So for those who saw my last video, it's an Intel 3770K. Got a 500 watt EVGA 500B power supply, 80 bronze. Samsung 256 SSD hard drive, so the computer literally boots up in like 20 seconds. That was another video that I showed for one of my clients who I installed the upgraded his hard drive with, pretty much. So, and you guys hopefully saw that video where literally from me shutting it off to turning it on, like literally 20 seconds, and it boots right into Windows. So this one pretty much does the same thing. So obviously it's a lot bigger than your normal size computers. This is pretty much kind of like a gaming rig. With the CPU that's in it, it's running 8 gigs of RAM. For some reason, when I got the motherboard, it has 4 channels for memory, but unfortunately, 2 of the channels don't work. So I'm only able to use up 2 channels. I put in 8 gigs. I might get 8 gig chips and probably upgrade it to 16, but I think 8 gigs will be pretty much good enough. What else does it have? It has a gigantic 140 millimeter fan up here set for exhaust, so it's basically just going to suck the heat straight up this way. So during the wintertime, if you don't want to use more heat in your house, just turn on this computer and you'll get pretty much a heat blower right on top of here. Right? Anyways, let's see what else. It has a 120 millimeter fan in the front set for an intake. I don't know if you guys could see or not, but on the bottom here, it's about like 3-4 inches with the opening space right here in the bottom. So the point of the fan here is it's set for intake. So it's going to draw air from the opening under here and a couple of vents here and to draw it in. So what you want to do is have air come in from the front and then pull in this way and then pretty much go up and then go out. So if you notice, usually back here, there is a spot for another 120 millimeter fan. But of course, in order for me to fit this big guy right here, I had to take that fan out. Now I could probably squeeze. They do make fans that are very thin. I might be able to squeeze one in there, but to be honest with you, I don't need it because this heatsink here, it actually already has 2 fans. So this one here in the front is set for an intake, and this one's set for an exhaust. So you're basically having one full like push-pull system. So now this is pushing air this way. This fan in front here, this first one, is pushing air through into the heatsink and then exhausting it out here through the back. And then this fan up here is helping any additional heat that this fan can't push that way. So it's basically drawing up this way and drawing out that way. I don't know if I'm going to add anything more. I am selling this computer, so if anyone is interested, anything that you see here, all my computers that I've built or I am building, they're all for sale. Just shoot me a private message on Facebook, and we could discuss price. And I'm blocking the thing out. So if you know anyone that is interested in getting a gaming computer, I don't just have gaming computers. I do have like business machines too, of course. So if anyone you know is looking for a computer or a laptop or anything like that, have them message me, or you guys could be a proxy. And just set up the appointment or whatever. I also do phone repairs and everything like that. Actually, I do have a person coming tomorrow who is going to have their screen replaced on their iPhone and also the battery. Kim, if you're still online, is that person that was looking for a suggestion on the Pelham, New Hampshire page? So they actually went through me. So thank you for the referral. And they ordered the parts on Amazon Prime. The parts should come in on Thursday, and she'll be here Thursday evening, and I'll be doing that for him too. So, hey Maureen. Oh, there's more people. Andrew, what's up? Let's see. Matt, Steve, Nancy, Jackie, Jenny. Hey, and Carl. Hey guys. Wow, there's a lot of people on Facebook Live, and no one on my YouTube. God damn it. All right. Well, whatever. Fine. Perfectly fine. Okay, so I showed you guys the cooler before. It was the Cooler Master V8 GTS, that big missile-looking thing. And then the motherboard is an AS Rock Z77 Pro 3. So it can handle pretty much a lot. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll plug it in so you guys could see the pretty red lights that it glows with. So give me 1 second just to grab a power cord. And I will fire it right up so you guys can see what it will look like. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, the last video I showed you guys how it has the, and let me see if I can get this in frame. So on the top here, they actually have 5 fan controllers. I mentioned this before. So it has the front, the 2 top. You can have up to 2 fans up here. And then this one is the side panel, which I'll show you really quick. And then this one is, oh wait, no. No, this is front. And then that one's side panel. This one, oh, that was for the 3rd fan. Okay, yeah, there's actually 3 fans on the side panel. I forgot about that. So it's front, side panel, top panel, and then rear. So right now I have it set for the front, a single one on the top, and then one on the rear. But I also installed 2 more fans. Oh, Jesus. 2 more fans here on the side panel. So that was a 2 here with the 2 cables here. And then there's one more 140 or 200 I could put here. I don't think I'm going to put one here because I don't think it will fit. Because when I put the side panel on, this honking thing will pretty much get in the way, so I won't be able to get a fan in there, unfortunately. But I think having the 120 in the front, the 2 120s on the side, the 140 on the top, and the 2 120s on the cooler. Oh, and there's the power supply also has a fan on the bottom for exhaust. I think it might be enough fans. Now, the main reason for this one here is to pretty much cool if you have like hard drives in this channel, or also if you run like a video card, it's just to add additional air so you can actually cool it off. You get better temperatures with that. Yeah, so that's it. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me turn this thing on. Put this thing a little closer. Who else has joined? Hey Joe, what's up, buddy? Okay, so really simple. Just shove it in. Power. Yeah, there we go. Power on. Power on. And here we go. All right, let me shut off the lights here. Boop. So here, if you guys can notice, so this is where it gets really random. So here it's an Intel. So for people who build PCs, Intel is Team Blue and AMD is Team Red. So this is kind of ironic because it's a Team Blue computer with a Team Red cooler. Anyways, I digress. So you have the red-ish here. The fans on the top is not LED, but if you could kind of see people on Facebook, this fan here in the front, right? Yeah, it's yellow. Unfortunately, it just comes that way. It's a great fan. It works. I mean, it pushes a lot of air in, but it's just a yellow color. And then on the top, which you can't really see unless I end up pulling the power cord. Maybe I could kind of see. Oh, there we go. All right, that angle kind of works. Up here, you have the green light. So this is nice because it tells you which fan controllers are actually on and which ones are not. So right now I have 2 because it's the one in the front and the one on the top. When I connect that side panel on the bottom there that I showed you guys, it'll actually light up green for the other one. And it comes with a slider. So as the slider moves, I can have it on low, medium, or high. I can control the speed of the actual fan itself. So when you're gaming and you need some extra cooling, you can turn up the fans. But of course, that comes at a cost of additional noise. So, but thankfully, the fans that I installed aren't actually very loud. Now, the only thing about this motherboard is by default, it sets the CPU cooler at max. So it was running pretty loud, and you couldn't really control it unless you go into the BIOS and you could actually change the fan configuration. So I was able to tune it down a good amount, and it's still blowing a really decent amount of air. And I haven't really overclocked this thing yet. I might do a little bit overclocking. Actually, no, I lie. I actually did. I overclocked it a little bit, but I haven't really drilled into overclocking to get it stable yet. So so that's happening. And then if you guys notice too, there's no graphic. Well, not everyone's gonna notice, but there's no graphics card yet. Now this motherboard does come with its own internal GPU, so you can still hook up a monitor to it, and it'll still work perfectly fine. If you're planning on playing games on it, though, it won't really run well on the internal graphics card. Who just joined? Hey, what's up, buddy? So basically, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So if you're gonna plan on playing games on this thing, you want to install its own graphics card. So I don't have any good gaming graphics cards yet. I'm planning on buying some. I'm actually talking to some guy on Marketplace to see if he's willing to sell me some graphics cards. Basically, this guy did crypto mining, and he literally has 50 graphics cards. Like, he has 18 RX 580s. I think he said he had 10 570s, a couple of 1060s, a couple of 1070s. Motherboards, power supplies, RAM, everything. And what sucked, I told him, I was like, oh man, if I had a store, I would literally buy your entire inventory. Yeah, he used it for crypto mining. He used it for 2 months. But he didn't overclock anything, and the cards will probably running perfectly fine. And if it's only 2 months, the cards are still under warranty anyways. So I'm actually not too worried about it. And he did actually give me a pretty good deal. So I'll get your guys' opinions for those who know about computer hardware. So he is selling me 6 RX 580s for $100 each. It'll be $600 total. He was selling them for $125 a piece, but I got him down to $100 a piece if I buy all 6. So I told him I would do it, but he does want to be paid in cash, so I got to figure that out. But that'll actually work out well because with the builds that I do, I try to do crossfire, which is pretty much installing and running 2 video cards at the same time. I might not do that with the 580s because I do have a bunch of other computers that I plan on buying. I don't know, maybe depending how I want to do this build and the other obnoxious ones that I want to do. So, all right. So I'm going to shut this baby off, and I'll show you guys the next build that I will be working on. All right. Don't mind me, and this would really suck if I ended up dropping this thing on my toes. And no, I do not have workers' comp for my business. Not yet, anyways. I don't think I need it, but who knows? All right, let's move this bad boy out of the way. Okay. And there we go. Yes. Okay. Lovely. All right. So I ended up getting a lot of other parts in too. So my next build, nothing fancy. It's an oldie but goodie. If you guys are on my Instagram page, I pretty much posted what I was planning on building, but the only thing I'm changing is just one part of the hardware. So what I decided to build is just an older AMD system. I've had this motherboard for a while. It's a 970 gaming, as you can see here. Really great board. I've literally built probably 5 machines all with the same motherboard, with a various amount of different CPUs. So they're all 8-core chips. So the FX 8350, 8320. I think I built an FX 6300 and a couple other ones too, and they all run great. So I have that board, and the original cooler I was going to install was this one, the Hyper 212 Evo. Great cooler, really cheap. I got this for $20 off of some guy on Marketplace. But what's nice is that this is the updated version, and it has support for LGA 1151 and AMD 4. Now, for those people who don't know what AM4 is, It's basically the newer chipset that AMD came out with. So after like 7 or 10 years of the FX chips, they came out with the Ryzen chips, and that's what the AM4 stands for. So what's nice about this, I'll show you guys, hold on, is that I actually have two AM4 motherboards, which will also be in a future build. So, actually, I'm going to probably angle this down a bit so you guys can see what's going on. And Facebook, okay. So this one on the top here, this is a MSI, MSI Bazooka B350M. So this one will run, this one is originally for the Gen 1 Ryzen CPU, so the 1700, the 1600, the 1500, and the X's that come along with it. So I got this motherboard off of a trade, but then I ended up getting this one, this MSI Tomahawk B350, this beast of a board, which does both the Gen 1 and the Gen 2s. Now, don't get me wrong, this one will still work with the Gen 2s. I just have to update the firmware or the BIOS on it, and then it'll work. But if I want the full potential of the chip, they suggested that you should run the new chipsets, which is the 4 series. So you have like the 450, the 470, that sort of thing. And like I said, these two are AM4. So depending what build I want, I'm going to use that cooler, the 212 Evo that I picked up with the AM4 support. And I need people to start buying my stuff. I'm running out of room here. Anyways, all right. So for this one, the cooler that I have chosen is the Noctua NHU 14S. So it's this bad boy right here. This is also a great cooler. People say that it is the equivalent to the Hyper 212 Evo. Biggest difference is it's definitely bigger. Not much bigger, but enough to notice. And I'll crack it open. So some guy also on Facebook Marketplace, he wanted $40 for it. I got him down to $25. He was a college student. He's like, you know what? I need to get rid of it. So why not? So I ended up talking to the guy, and I met him over at SNHU up in Manchester. Nice kid. Basically, long story short, he ended up selling his computer because he needed money for school. So he ended up selling his desktop and buying a laptop instead because he was going to be traveling for classes and stuff. We'll be walking around a lot. But the guy had a all-in-one cooler that he wanted to use for the desktop. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? Hey, Ben. So basically what the guy did was he sold the computer, and since he was using an all-in-one cooler, he was like, well, I don't need this cooler. So why don't you just go ahead and take it? And the guy was like, okay, sure. So he basically had a CPU cooler, but with no computer to use it for. So why the hell not? So he ended up selling it for pretty cheap. So anyways, all right. So let me show you guys the insides of this thing. So I'll just show you the so you guys could probably already see the size of the fan itself. So this is I'm pretty sure it's a, oh no, it's stuck. Come on. So the Hyper 212 Evo comes with a 120 millimeter fan. This one, I want to say it's a oops, sorry for the noise. I want to say this is a 140. It's pretty big, but yeah, it's nice because, I mean, the color scheme, this is what they're known for, the brownish color. But what's nice about this, though, is that it does have the rubber here, here on the sides. So you don't have to worry a lot about like the vibration noises and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. Let's see what else. Oh, and then here's the actual heatsink itself. So notice how so the Hyper 212 is thicker. This one is just longer, I guess is the best way of putting it. So it essentially does the same thing, though, but it still has the block on the bottom. And he actually cleaned it pretty well, too. So that was nice of him. Pretty much you have all the heat pipes here. It goes up and down through the heat fins and everything like that. So, and yeah, it came in really good condition. It just the fins are just a smidge bent, but you could always take a flathead or your fingers and you could just fix the fins. Not a big deal. So that's that, and that's the fan. And then here on the insides here is the accessories kit. So this pretty much comes with all the brackets and everything that I'll need. So it does come with the thermal paste, which, whatever, yeah. So it has its own thermal paste, the long screwdriver, because I got to reach those screws when I tighten it in there. And then you have the brackets. So you have your AMD bracket, which is these over here. I'm sorry, these are the Intel brackets over here. Your AMD brackets over here. And then, just a couple of extra stuff. So this is just a badge to advertise that using your stuff. This is just a fan extension cable. And then these metal brackets here, this is for you to add an additional fan. So right now I have one fan that I could attach to one side, but like that huge other Cooler Master one that I showed you guys earlier, you could do one pushing in and one pulling out. So you could do a push-pull with it. So if I ended up picking up another one of these fans. And then this is nice too. So when you do buy another fan, you could always put these rubber things in case it doesn't come with it. Oops, sorry. It doesn't come with it. So, and then the screws and everything to make everything fit in there. Yeah. So that's that for that big friggin' thing. So yeah, so this one I'm probably going to end up putting on the AMD, the MSI, excuse me, the MSI 970 motherboard. Unfortunately, this one does not have any compatibility for AM4. I'm pretty sure if I contacted Noctua, I could probably get a bracket for it. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to stress over it. Yeah, I've had these parts for a while. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm starting to get cabin fever. So I need to start doing stuff. So I already told Eva that, I'm going to be planning on doing a lot of builds and figure that out. Oh, I wanted to also give you guys an update on my client's MacBook Air. So I did order the part not too long ago. I showed you guys really briefly that I have to swap out the logic board and everything like that. And I tested the SSD and the SSD works and everything. So the guy, hey Mike, so the guy on eBay decided to message me after I ordered it like 3-4 days ago. And he was probably like, okay, well, I didn't. When you buy something on eBay and they ship it, they usually attach the tracking number for it. Now, I didn't question him because sometimes when you order stuff on eBay, they don't always give you a tracking number. So I just figured, okay, well, he probably shipped it and it'll probably come in the next couple of days, whatever. So he messages me and he basically tells me so before I send out the stuff that I sell, I just like to double check it to make sure everything is working. So he said, the good news is motherboard works perfectly fine. Bad news is it has a firmware password. Now, to be honest with you, I work with Macs, but I've never had to deal with any type of firmware password or anything like that. So I just assume it's the same thing as a PC. It has a BIOS password. So if you want to install any updates or any significant updates for the MacBook, you will require a password in order for you to do that because it actually changes the hardware code that runs in the background that you don't really see or you don't really change at all. So the person's like, okay, so it has a firmware password on it. I don't know how or where or what it is, but I'm trying to get rid of it. If I can't get rid of it, then I'll follow up with you and we'll either do a refund or replacement or whatever. So I'm like, if you have another board, just send me the other board. Don't waste my time and don't waste your time trying to get rid of the firmware thing. The firmware password. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit upsetting because I told him that this part is for a client and they're waiting for me to get it fixed. So whatever you could do to expedite it, even if you get it fixed, don't send it standard ground. Like, that's going to piss me off. Do your due diligence and send it like priority overnight. Like, it's not my fault that you screwed up and you sold me something that wasn't 100% guaranteed or what you put on the listing. So I told him, or I asked him nicely, can you please expedite this? And can you please expedite the shipping if you're able to send this thing out? He hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I'm going to give him some time. But at the same time, I'm just hoping that he will respond to me within the next day, because I told him that now I have to tell my client that, oh, hey, the part that I ordered for you, it might not come in. So now she has to wait even longer. I mean, granted, I gave her a loaner that she can use in the meantime. Like, this is for school. And she's in law school too. So this isn't just something that she could just, oh yeah, just fix it, whatever. Like, obviously she's not going to be mean about the time, but I also know that she needs it for school because it has all her stuff on there. So right now, everything that's on the loaner machine, there's nothing unless she either emailed it to herself or she has it on like her Google Drive or something. Or maybe on her iCloud. I don't know how the iCloud backup works, but that's besides the point. I digress. So now I have to tell her that the part may not come in, and then I have to find another part and then wait another couple of days and yada, yada, yada. So it just becomes a pain in the butt. So, but of course, this is partially my fault, mainly because, so I asked her, I could either order this on Amazon Prime or I could order it on eBay. Now, granted, she's in school, so I'm trying to save her a little bit of money. I don't want her to spend an arm and a leg just to get this MacBook Air replaced. I mean, granted, if you went through Apple directly, I mean, they'll just tell you straight up, like, oh, it's going to be the cost of a new laptop. You might as well just buy another one, which I went over this. I'm not going to go back to it. If you want to hear me rant, check out my previous video. I go all into it. But anyways, so I try to save her a little bit of money. And fortunately, eBay is a little bit cheaper. For example, on Amazon, the cheapest part I found was for $230 for the same motherboard. Now, is that a little bit pricey? Absolutely. The laptop's only about 3 years old, so it hasn't been like mass produced. I mean, granted, I could probably order the part from China for a lot less, but then I'll have to wait at least 2 to 3 weeks, and then it has to go through customs, and it's just a complete pain in the butt. And if it does get caught in customs, it'll probably take up to a month. So that I'm not going to deal with that. So I went on eBay instead, and I got the part for $180. Now, that is a significant discount compared to the $230. Now, the sacrifice is basically unforeseen, as I just described before. But I figured, okay, it's going to take a couple of days for me to receive it. And then after that, I could grab it, start doing a live video, and show you guys like basically how to replace a logic board. But this unforeseenness of the guy telling me that, oh, by the way, surprise, it has a firmware password on it. I'm like, why would you post something, but you double check it after the item has been purchased? Like, that is the worst business practice ever. Like, you test it to make sure everything is working, and then you post it. I mean, all the stuff that I sell on eBay, I don't just throw it on there and be like, oh, wait, I'm going to have them wait 3 to 4 days just to see if it works. And if it doesn't, I'm going to kindly ask them, like, oh, hey, by the way, I was just double checking to make sure that the part's working. And guess what? It's not working right, but I'm going to try to figure it out. Like, what the? Oh, God. When it comes to dumb people, I can't. I can't deal with people like that. So, unfortunately, I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to let it go. And hopefully he has a part and he could expedite the shipping and everything like that. If not, then I'll just get a refund and I'll just tell my client. And thankfully, my client is a good friend of ours. So she won't get too upset, but it's more upsetting to me because me running a business and unfortunately having to rely on third-party people to receive my parts, that's the 50-50 risk that I unfortunately have to take. So I'm just hoping that everything works out well. and I'm not going to get screwed on this. And even if I do, well, what could you do? There's nothing really much I can do about it. So, anyways, that's my rant. Sorry, guys. Okay, so who else has joined? I think, okay, hi, Chad. Hey, Doreen. Hi. Katie, hi. Mike, I said hi to you, I think. Well, anyways, hi, Mike. Hey, Mel. Ryan, Ben, Joe, Carl. Wow, there's a lot of people on this Facebook Live right now. Maybe you guys just have it running in the background and you don't like hearing my voice. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys don't have any other questions or comments or whatever, please like and share my video. I do appreciate it. You can find me on YouTube. Also, look up Freelance Computing. You can like and subscribe and share all the fun stuff. And same thing, everything that I've gone over, the massive case, I'll see if I can find it online or something similar to it. And also the cooler motherboard, all the parts that I've gone over. I'll post a link on the video description down below on the YouTube page in case you guys are interested in that. And then everything else that I've went over too. So the Noctua cooler back here, MSI motherboard. It is a little bit older, but I'll see if I can find it for you guys in case you want to read any specs and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that'll be probably another project. So I got that iPhone that I'm fixing tomorrow. Like I said, it's a cracked screen and a battery replacement because Apple decided to install finally the battery health check after that whole thing about them slowing down your phones due to running an older phone and an older battery. Yeah, there's this whole thing about it. You guys can just Google it. Just put iPhone battery replacement or something like that. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So she's coming over with that and to get that done, and then hopefully the guy will send me the part for the logic board for the MacBook Air. And then after that, I'll probably have a little bit of time to start building some more computers in the back. So I have that one that I just finished. There's a case behind that green beast over here for that one, and then that case over there, that black one with the smaller one. I'm probably going to end up putting one of these motherboards in there. It's another Intel build that I'm planning on doing. It's nothing special. They're older motherboards, still like a Generation 3 Intel, but they're still great computer motherboard. It's still great hardware. So I'll probably set that up for either like a business machine. I do actually have a couple of K series, which is overclocking chips. So I'll probably set those up for just like medium to high gaming, depending on what video cards I end up getting. And I got to talk to that guy too about the RX 580s and see if I get those. But anyways, yeah. So like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for joining. I'll see you at the next one.